Welcome back to our channel. The name associated with the famous role in Father of the Bride and a career spanning more than 30 years is Kimberly Williams-Paisley. The anguish of losing loved ones and an unforeseen occurrence that silenced her for 2 years are just two of the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that lay beneath the sparkling limelight of success. How did her voice sound? How did Kimberly use this hardship to her advantage? And return with much more vigor? You won't want to miss her inspirational journey. Early life and career beginnings. Rye, New York, a little seaside town close to New York City, was the place of Kimberly Williams-Paisley's birth on September 14, 1971. She was raised in an imaginative and motivating family. Gurney Williams III, her father, was a science and health journalist. Whereas Linda Barbara, her mother, was a dedicated fundraiser. Being the oldest of 3 kids, Kimberly's parents instilled in her the virtues of ingenuity and accountability. The Williams family was a loving and close-knit community. Ashley Williams, her younger sister, went on to become a director and actress and starred in several popular movies. Jay Williams, her brother, was an essential member of the family even though he did not study the arts. From a young age, Kimberly developed an interest for the arts. She began appearing in local performances at the age of 13. In addition to performing on stage, she also served as director at Rye High School during her high school years. One noteworthy achievement was her leadership in overseeing the musical production at her school, which was a precursor to her ambition to not only perform but also tell stories in her own unique style. Kimberly attended Northwestern University, one of the most prominent universities in the U.S., to further her artistic aspirations after high school. She developed her acting abilities there and learned more about using art to express stories. She also joined the Alpha Phi sorority at Northwestern, where she discovered how to combine her love of the arts with her studies. From modest theatrical appearances in high school to her first significant success, Kimberly Williams-Paisley showed that hard work and dedication might result in unanticipated possibilities. She got her big break at the age of 20 when she played Annie Banks in the beloved 1991 movie Father of the Bride. In addition to giving her access to Hollywood, this role made her name famous among viewers everywhere. The fact that Kimberly didn't initially believe she had a chance of landing the role is very noteworthy. She said in a subsequent interview that she thought she was too young to play the role of Annie Banks, a 22-year-old newlywed. She stood out, nevertheless, because of her relaxed, casual manner during the audition. Kimberly made a stunning on-screen debut after being chosen to collaborate with movie icons Diane Keaton and Steve Martin, presenting a charming, funny, and incredibly sentimental bride. In addition to winning over the audience, the part influenced her acting technique. Genuine, approachable, and emotionally captivating. Following the completion of Wrapped, Kimberly made an unexpected choice. She went back to finish her degree at Northwestern University. Few young performers would take a break from their jobs to pursue college at a time when celebrity was just starting to blossom. But for Kimberly, going back to school was a sign of her sense of responsibility for the course she had chosen as well as a personal commitment. After graduating, Kimberly took deliberate and methodical efforts to start establishing her profession. She starred in movies including The War at Home, 1996, Cold-Blooded, 1995, and Indian Summer, 1993. Even if not all of them were box office successes, Kimberly was able to expand her acting repertoire with these roles, demonstrating that she was more than simply an on-screen bride but a flexible performer who could play a variety of parts. At the same time, Kimberly made her television debut, landing a major role as the lead in ABC's brief series Relativity. She portrayed a young lady negotiating the difficulties of life and love in the show, putting on a show that won praise from critics. Due to low ratings, the series only ran for 17 episodes, but it cemented Kimberly's status as a multifaceted, intensely emotional actress who isn't afraid to take on challenging roles. Kimberly Williams' prosperity in her profession. After her breakout performance in 1991's Father of the Bride, Kimberly Williams-Paisley's career continued. Rather, she built a rich artistic journey spanning theater, television, film, and literature using this achievement as a springboard. Every accomplishment is evidence of her unwavering work ethic and diverse skill set. Kimberly returned to the role of Annie Banks in Father of the Bride Part 2, 1995, after the first installment's overwhelming success. The Banks family was the next subject in the story, brimming with more poignant moments and humor, particularly as Annie got ready to become a mother. In addition to captivating viewers, the movie solidified Kimberly's status among admirers. She once again demonstrated her organic, emotionally charged acting when she appeared with movie icons Diane Keaton and Steve Martin. In addition to influencing Kimberly's acting career, playing Annie Banks helped her build a solid reputation as a dependable performer who could engage audiences with sincere and relevant performances. Fans still remember Kimberly's dazzling grin and energetic performance in this movie years later, which will always be a memorable highlight of her career. Kimberly made notable advancements in television outside of the large screen. According to Jim, she played Dana in the Well-Like sitcom in 2001, co-starring with Courtney Thorne-Smith and Jim Belushi. Kimberly was a key character in the 7-season series because of her subtle yet hilarious portrayal. In addition to securing her position in TV viewers' hearts, Dana's portrayal showcased her versatility by allowing her to move fluidly between funny sitcom performances and serious roles in movies. Later, Kimberly's recurring role as Peggy Kenter in the drama series Nashville, which ran from 2012 to 2013, brought her more notoriety. Despite not playing the lead, she demonstrated that she could play a nuanced character in the very southern setting, which was a significant change from her prior parts. Kimberly was as brilliant on stage. She played a significant part in The Last Night of Ballyhoo, where she took Aria Baraka's place. When Kimberly entered the theatrical industry, she once again showed off her creative range by performing for live audiences in a way that was lively and accessible. Kimberly's work as a novelist is among the most noteworthy turning points in her career outside of performing. She detailed her family's heartbreaking journey through her mother's fight with primary progressive aphasia, a rare form of dementia, in her memoir Where the Light Gets In, which was released in 2016. In addition to being a personal narrative, the book offers thousands of families dealing with comparable difficulties a meaningful message. Kimberly wrote intimately and deeply, providing consolation and support to those who care for dementia patients. Numerous readers and critics praised the memoir, which became an inspiration to many. As Kimberly once said, "I wrote this book to help other families realize they are not alone, in addition to sharing my mother's experience." It was more than just a successful publication. It cemented her reputation as a source of inspiration that went well beyond her acting career. Private life. Being the wife of country music artist Brad Paisley adds even more intrigue to Kimberly Williams' story. With an old connection and a movie, their love story started in the most surprising way. Brad Paisley, then a young man from West Virginia, was watching Father of the Bride with his girlfriend when it came out in theaters in 1991. As the charming and elegant bride, Kimberly enchanted viewers in her portrayal of Annie Banks. Brad was enthralled by her beautiful smile and inherent beauty, just like millions of other people. He had no idea how long her image would stay with him after he left the theater. Brad and his girlfriend broke up years later, but he couldn't shake the image of Kimberly in the movie. Then, 7 years after seeing Father of the Bride for the first time, Brad woke up one morning in 1999 with an odd thought. How about making an effort to meet Kimberly Williams? Although he had never done it before, he made the decision to find a means to get in touch with her because the concept was so appealing. Brad was able to find Kimberly's number through common acquaintances thanks to his growing country music stardom. At first, Kimberly was taken aback but intrigued by Brad's invitation to meet. Brad's earnestness convinced her to give him a chance even though she had never met him before. Their initial encounter swiftly evolved into an immediate bond between the two. Brad was very thoughtful, and Kimberly once said, "I'm a sucker for anyone who's thoughtful." They instantly fell in love. In 2002, Brad asked Kimberly to marry him after they had been dating for roughly 8 months. They both had difficult work schedules, but they didn't allow that stop them from being together. Kimberly frequently remembered that one of the things that drew her to Brad was his sense of humor. She claimed that he had a gift for making me laugh, which helped them get over the early difficulties of juggling work and love. Close friends and relatives attended the couple's warm and private wedding on March 15, 2003. The wedding was full of love and honesty, although it wasn't very lavish. One of the day's highlights was when Brad sang a funny song he wrote called Toilet Seat Down, which made everyone in the room giggle. It demonstrated not only his sense of humor but also his capacity to infuse their shared lives with happiness and lightness. Kimberly and Brad made the decision to move to Nashville, Tennessee, after getting married, where they constructed a house and started a family. Their first son, William Huckleberry Huck Paisley, was born in 2007, and their second son, Jasper Warren, was born in 2009. Being a mother fundamentally changed Kimberly's outlook on life. She said, "I don't want to look back and regret missing out on simple moments like walking through the woods with my kids or fishing with them." The path of Kimberly and Brad's marriage has not always been straightforward. Being a famous couple, they frequently had to deal with press pressure and speculations. But they always managed to deal with difficulties in a humorous and sympathetic manner. Brad, according to Kimberly, never allowed life to get too serious and always managed to make her laugh, even under the most trying circumstances. Respect for one another and steadfast support are the cornerstones of their relationship. In addition to being Brad's partner, Kimberly serves as a major source of inspiration for his songs. His love and adoration for Kimberly are clear in every lyric of the many songs he has written that have been influenced by her. Kimberly has reciprocated by consistently encouraging Brad's musical career and even making appearances in his music videos, such I'm Gonna Miss Her, in which the couple displayed their comedy and chemistry. Kimberly and Brad have been together for over 20 years and have created a stable and loving family. Kimberly shared a 20-year Instagram post in 2023 to commemorate their 20th wedding anniversary. "Oh, where we have been. Even if marriage isn't always ideal, I'm thankful for our tale." For them, the secret to a long-lasting partnership has been humor and an optimistic attitude. There is more to Kimberly and Brad's love story than meets the eye. It serves as a lesson on how two individuals may work together to overcome obstacles, encourage one another, and succeed and be happy. Their tale has inspired many, demonstrating that genuine love is the best inspiration to persevere through life's challenges, from an unexpected movie date to creating a loving and caring family. But when Kimberly experienced a major health crisis and lost her voice entirely, her life took an unexpected turn. A voice is an essential instrument and a fundamental component of an actress's professional persona. For Kimberly Williams-Paisley, losing her voice suddenly for 2 years was not only a physical shock but also the most difficult thing she had ever had to deal with. She first appeared on stage at an Alzheimer's fundraiser event she had planned in Nashville in 2020. In a matter of seconds, it was an event that altered every aspect of her existence. Kimberly took the microphone and greeted the audience with her trademark beautiful grin and self-assured manner. However, she made no sound when she opened her mouth. The voice wasn't weak. Kimberly remembered that there was nothing, not even a whisper. With hundreds of eyes on her, the room went silent. She felt a surge of uncertainty and fear. "Did you just lose your voice?" her sister, Ashley Williams, leaned down and whispered. Kimberly forced a grin to lighten the mood and nodded. She initially believed it to be a transient problem, possibly brought on by stress or excessive vocalization earlier, but her voice would not come back. She was only able to make scratchy, feeble noises the following day. Kimberly tried everything, including vocal exercises, warm tea, and rest, but nothing helped. She questioned whether she had abused her voice and regretted herself for the first few months. She started a vocal coaching session, practicing breathing and relaxation methods. However, the outcomes were unsatisfactory. Over time, the problem grew beyond the physical. It had a negative impact on Kimberly's mental health. She acknowledged that she began to shy away from public gatherings, turn down interviews, and even avoid talking to people. The 2022 debut of Netflix's Doggone was one of the worst moments. On the red carpet, she became aware that her voice was not loud enough to cut through the clamor, thus she was unable to respond to interviews. Kimberly recounted, "I was crying in the bathroom, feeling like I had lost a piece of myself." When Kimberly finally sought professional assistance at Vanderbilt Voice Center in January 2023, she was given a diagnosis of muscle tension dysphonia, a disorder in which the muscles surrounding the voice cords become extremely tight, that it is impossible to make any sound. However, the narrative did not finish there. Doctors at Vanderbilt found that Kimberly had partial vocal cord paralysis after months of therapy and muscular relaxation techniques. This was most likely brought on by a virus that affected the laryngeal nerve. "The shame vanished as soon as I received the definitive diagnosis." Kimberly revealed, "I stopped blaming myself because this wasn't my fault." After receiving a definitive diagnosis, she started a rigorous course of treatment that included physical therapy, posture corrections, and eventually surgery. She had a variety of therapies to help her body and neurological system relax before the surgery, such as full-body muscle relaxation exercises and orthodontic devices to straighten her bite. Kimberly went into the operating room in early 2023, anxious yet hopeful that she would be able to speak again. The fact that she had to stay completely awake during the procedure was what made it so special. To test the results, the physicians asked her to speak while they adjusted a tiny gadget that looked like a dental implant that was put into her vocal cords. "It was both magical and unbelievable that I had to speak while they were doing surgery." When the device was in the proper position after 3 tweaks, everyone in the room chuckled and exclaimed, "That's her voice." Kimberly remembered the poignant occasion with joyful, gleaming eyes. Kimberly felt like she had been reborn following the procedure. Her tone had returned, but her voice was still a little hoarse. She said, "It was like getting back in touch with an old friend I hadn't spoken to in a long time." She worked with a voice therapist after surgery to get used to her new vocal cords. One of the humorous exercises she described was speaking into a bucket. It allowed her to relax her muscles and hear her voice more clearly. Kimberly jokingly said, "I even named the bucket Swan, like a new companion." In addition to her physical recuperation, Kimberly's quest to regain her voice involved a deep investigation of her inner power. She gained the ability to love and accept herself in spite of her flaws throughout the 2 years of silence. She even started studying sign language so she could talk to her sons. Anna called the children down for dinner using a pink megaphone that her husband, Brad Paisley, had purchased for her. In addition to helping her deal, these simple actions strengthened the bonds throughout the family. In retrospect, I see how the experience of losing my voice taught me priceless lessons. According to Kimberly, I discovered how to embrace each moment, stay in the present, and never let anything significant pass me by. She also conveyed her sincere appreciation to Brad, who supported her and lifted her spirits. "He's not just my husband, but my best friend," Kimberly said in an interview. "The person who gave me hope when I was at my lowest." Legacy and impact. Kimberly Williams-Paisley has made a significant impact in the entertainment industry, her personal life, and her community service after conquering enormous obstacles. She is a dynamic example of tenacity and adaptability in her acting profession. Throughout her decades-long career, Kimberly has inspired young actors with lessons on tenacity and flexibility in a demanding industry, from her legendary part as Annie Banks in Father of the Bride to her comedy appearances in According to Jim to her more dramatic roles on stage. Beyond the screen, Kimberly's account of her bond with her ailing mother has greatly influenced innumerable families dealing with illness. In addition to being a personal account, her memoir Where the Light Gets In serves as a forum for discussion and understanding, which makes many people feel less alone while they provide care. In addition, Kimberly co-founded The Store, a free grocery program for those in need, with her husband, Brad Paisley, and enhancing thousands of lives by giving the community chances. In whatever she does, Kimberly always stresses humanity and authenticity. She leaves a lasting sense of empathy and a sincere desire to make a real difference in other people's lives, whether through her art or philanthropy. Current circumstances. In Franklin, Tennessee, Kimberly Williams-Paisley now leads a calm yet contented existence. Along with her spouse, their 2 sons, and a variety of unique creatures, such as a donkey that was rescued. She has discovered serenity in the slower-paced Southern lifestyle, which she much values, after years spent under the bright lights of Hollywood. She once said, "Tennessee is home now." Kimberly continues to be enthusiastic about her work and is involved in both charitable and film ventures. She is particularly dedicated to running and growing The Store and the free groceries program she co-founded with Brad Paisley, which helps those in the neighborhood who are struggling. She uses her experience of overcoming adversity to motivate and encourage people by sharing her personal tales in addition to her professional endeavors. Kimberly is thrilled to say that her voice has significantly improved after a difficult comeback from vocal loss. "I still can't yell while walking down the street," she said bluntly. "My voice may sound a little raspier than it used to after a long day of talking, but I find that endearing. I discovered that it's okay for people to lean in closer when you speak more softly." Kimberly's ideology is centered on optimism and comedy. She makes the decision to face life's obstacles with a cheerful and upbeat attitude. She has been able to balance her family life and establish a prosperous profession thanks to this mindset. For Kimberly, happiness is about finding delight in the small, everyday moments rather than striving for perfection. A living example of how life's worst obstacles may turn into its greatest assets is Kimberly Williams-Paisley. In addition to captivating audiences with her skill on film and in real life, she has warmed people's hearts with her compassion and tenacity. What do you think of Kimberly's emotional development? As we continue to examine the inspirational tales of Hollywood icons, please leave your thoughts in the comments section below and remember to hit like and subscribe. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video. Farewell.